the ferries push you uphill.
This is part 3 of our Irish road trip, and it's full of magic roads, charging bulls, and the mystical Lady in White. Join us as we explore County Cork and beyond. We continued driving along the beautiful wild Atlantic Way and past some lovely villages where the houses were painted every colour of the rainbow. We didn't think it was possible, but things got even more colourful when we reached the village of Allihies. It was so pretty, and Helga looked perfect driving through this village. We also met this lovely dog who was just roaming along the street, and it decided to follow us on a hike. I'm not sure where its owner was, but it just seemed to be one of those dogs that are allowed to just roam on its own and make friends with strangers.
Hello.
And honestly, she was one of the cutest dogs we've ever met, and we were so sad when we had to say goodbye to her because she was so sweet.
Hey, gorgeous.
We found some random spots to wild swim, and we also checked out Puxley Manor. Well, we drove past it because you can't go inside. It's completely abandoned, and apparently it was once a 6-star hotel, but there's also rumours that it's cursed. And we had a bit of bad luck after parking outside of it because we got stuck in some mud. Luckily, the curse didn't seem to hit us, and we managed to get out of the mud and continue our journey.
Yes. Woohoo!
Then it was time to make our way to the heart of West Cork. We kicked things off with a walk to Brow Head, which is the most southern point of mainland Ireland. It was a wild and windswept place and completely inhospitable. It was a bit of a spooky place too, and we were the only people there and found this abandoned miners' building. Things took a turn for the worse on our way back, and we were charged by a cow. We had no choice but to jump over a dry stone wall, and it was quite a low wall, and we thought the cow might come and get us still, so we had to jump into the next field, which was full of brambles. Once we made it back onto the main track, the culprit was just staring at us through this gate, and we still didn't feel safe.
What are they? Balls?
After that adrenaline rush, we were very happy to get back to Helga and have a nice hot lunch. We continued our drive around West Cork and past Barley Cove, which was such a beautiful spot, and apparently the Sandbank and river were formed from a tsunami. But now it's time for us to head to Three Castles Head. This place is famous for the ruins of a 13th century castle and is said to be haunted by the Lady in White, and rumour has it, if you see her, your death is imminent. When we arrived, a weather warning creeped out of nowhere and we had 100km/h winds pushing us down this hill. But anyway, back to the haunted stories. Apparently in 1996, a French woman came here and saw the Lady in White. It really scared her, so she ran to the nearest house, and then the following day she was found brutally murdered. Locals claim that it's because she saw the ghost, and maybe we saw it too because they also say that it's this white water spray that gets pushed across the lake. And things became scary for us when we tried to leave because the wind became so strong I couldn't even get back up the hill. I kept getting knocked down, rolling over in the mud. I was crawling on all fours and screaming for Craig to come back and help me, but he couldn't hear me. He did eventually see me waving frantically and came down to help, but he just completely blew straight past me to the bottom of the hill. So now there's 2 of us crawling on all fours trying to get out there, and it was actually pretty scary, but we laughed a lot afterwards. I don't think I've had so many free adrenaline rushes in one day, so now it's time for us to head back to some civilization. We passed through the colourful town of Ballydehub, topped Helga up with some water, did a food shop, and then we had to decide where to go next as we only have a few days left in Ireland before our ferry back to the UK. We decided to head to County Waterford where we could check out the mountains there, and on the way we stopped at this saltwater lake and also at the ruins of a 17th century fortified house. Back in its day it was said to be so grand it had a chimney for every month, a door for every week and a window for every day of the year. That evening we parked in a quiet harbourside spot and we had the most beautiful sunset that was reflected in the calm water. The next day we headed to some wild areas of County Waterford. We had plans of doing a big loop hike around this loch, but the weather just wasn't on our side and we realised we'd be in fog the whole time. We did get treated to a lovely rainbow though, and then we decided to just head back to Helga and relax in the warmth.
Okay, we are baking, well, Craig is baking a lemon and courgette.
Baking a cake!
Lemon and courgette cake today. So, yeah, it's supposed to be nice weather, but I mean, it's not bad. It's not really raining, but there's clouds all over the mountains. So we're hoping that it will clear up and we'll be able to do a hike after the cake is baked.
So we attempted our second hike in the area, heading up towards this waterfall along the plateau, and our plan was to try and get a view of what we missed out on yesterday, but it didn't go quite to plan. But as you can see, we were just surrounded by fog, and without a map, we would have really struggled to get around this area because it all looked the same. So we gave up on all the hiking malarkey and headed back to Helga to try out the magic road in the area.
Okay, this is a magic road in Ireland, so apparently ferries push you uphill and you just take your car you put your car into neutral and take your handbrake off and then you roll up the hill. So, okay, magic, we got marking on here. You ready, Craig?
I'm ready. Are you ready, fairies?
This is what the road looks like, so a bit uphill. We're gonna give it a go.
Neutral. Ready?
Yep.
Push, fairies. Push! Push, god damn
And
it!
it's working! We are very much rolling up the hill, look at that! And Craig doesn't believe it, but he can't deny this one.
We're definitely pushing here.
We are full on going up a hill here. When's it going to stop, Craig?
That is quite magical.
Are you serious?
That's pretty good. We're still going.
We're still
We're still
going!
going in neutral.
Wow! It's magic! We are rolling at great speed, and Craig is now
I'm a believer!
a believer of the fairies. Still going. It's gonna stop.
Longest roll ever.
After all that excitement, Helga rolled all the way down to the sea to the Copper Coast. This is a UNESCO Global Geopark with some really impressive cliffs. We also checked out the ruins of Dunhill Castle, and the whole backside was like crumbled away, so we were able to access the inside and climb up to the top, which was really cool.
Final day in Ireland.
And 6 weeks after we started this trip, it's now time for us to head back to the UK. We haven't been back to Sussex since we started this road trip 8 months ago. But we don't plan on stopping anytime soon, so follow along to see our adventures as we make our way to Spain.